Looks like we are live. Hey, Kimberly here. I just wanted to jump on live quickly today with a quick message and an invitation. You see, this past Tuesday, I had the honor and the privilege to be able to jump on an SCW webinar Tuesday evening, all about preventing burnout. And side note, huge high five and kudos to SCW Fitness, because since the pandemic hit, they have offered over 100 free webinars for all of us in the health and fitness space and beyond. I mean, so many of the topics have been quite broad, including this one Tuesday evening. It was all about how to push pause and avoid burnout. There were some amazing minds as part of the conversation. It was spectacular, and it turned into a full-length conversation around self-care, as it should, because that is the number one tool in our toolbox to avoid burnout, fatigue, overwhelm, chronic stress, is to take care of ourselves, of course, right? And so over the course of the webinar, we all shared tons of great ideas and tips that you can incorporate in your day-to-day life to be able to implement self-care. But then the next day, I was struck by something so significantly, and I was so sad that it didn't come to me during the webinar to be able to share. So I wanted to jump on and share it now, because this is one thing that I absolutely know to be true. Self-care does not happen without self-worth. Period. The thoughts, the decisions, the actions that you need to take to better take care of yourself, not going to happen if you don't think you're worth it. I don't care how many people are encouraging you, how many ideas you're being given by those closest to you, or your teachers or mentors and coaches. I mean, the women I shared this webinar with that were on this panel with me were great minds, teachers, coaches, and were giving great advice. And yet I started thinking to myself the next day, I'm like, no one's going to take that advice from any of us unless they feel that they're worthy of the self-care we're suggesting. And so to layer onto that, really it expands beyond just self-care. I mean, self-care is such a huge topic in and of itself, but you're really not going to think any of the thoughts, make the decisions, and take the actions that would lead to living your happiest, your best life, what I call your inspired life, unless you have a strong foundation for self-worth, unless you know that you are worthy of those thoughts, those decisions, and those actions that will lead to you living your best life. So with that, I decided that I'm going to offer a free workshop live via Zoom. I call it 3 Steps to Unshakable Self-Worth. It is my favorite workshop I think I've ever created, and I've created a few over the decades. This one really dives into how to build a strong sense of self-worth. And if you're someone in the world who really wants to be a difference maker, you want to make a positive impact on the lives of others, really want to encourage you to dive into this workshop, especially because making that kind of difference in the lives of others and on the world, it just doesn't happen unless we start from a strong sense of self-worth for ourselves. So during this free workshop, I am going to be sharing some of the lessons that have changed my life for the better on all levels. It's improved my own personal well-being, my relationships, the work that I do, and my ability to be an uplifter for others, which I know so many of you out there ultimately want to be able to do. And so let's start at the core of it, build the foundation for it. This is going to happen on Tuesday, June 22nd. Perhaps later I'll take the time to explain to you why I specifically chose that date, because it is incredibly special. Tuesday, June 22nd, it's going to happen at noon Pacific time. That's going to be, let me get it right, 1 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Central, and 3 o'clock Eastern. We are going to spend a bit of time as I share some lessons with you, and then I very much want to transition into conversation and dialogue so that we can elevate this topic. I'll answer any questions you have. I want to hear from you, the inspiration, the aha moments, and let's start to dig into this, because as things are opening up, as we're all moving into the next chapter here there's just no better time than now to elevate this incredibly important topic and conversation. So I hope that you will join me for the free workshop. The link, you will either see it in the description, or let me just tell it to you now. It's just my website, inspiredwithkimberly.com/unshakable. That's it. inspiredwithkimberly.com/unshakable. Go ahead and register for your free spot. Zoom has us a bit limited as far as spots, but grab your spot. If something happens, you're unable to join me on the 22nd, which I hope you can, because that's where we get the most benefit, is by taking information and turning it into conversation. And so I really look forward to that part of it. It's really the best part. I also created a play sheet that goes along with this. I haven't delivered this workshop live in a couple of years, so I'm really, really excited to delve into the conversation part and dive into the worksheet part with you, or what I call a play sheet. So you'll have a play sheet you get to download, and then yes, you will be able to access a recording if for some reason you come late, have to leave early, or you are unavailable at that particular day and time. So I will record it for you as well. So inspiredwithkimberly.com/unshakable. Let's talk about this concept of having a strong foundation of self-worth, so that we don't move into the realm of frustration and stress, chronic stress and overwhelm and burnout and fatigue. It really, really is avoidable, and it's not as hard as you may think. And it starts in a place that you may not have realized. So that's the conversation that I want to have, so that you can take your power back and really start living your inspired life. Because these lessons I'm going to share are all about how I developed a strong sense of self-worth for myself and began living my inspired life. And that is what I want for you as well. So with that, know that until our paths cross again, I know it's a couple of weeks away, so mark your calendar, register, grab your spot. You'll receive an email with the link and all that good stuff. And then let me know if in advance you have any questions or anything you want to make sure I cover when we do come together. But let's keep this conversation going, and I will hopefully see you on June 22nd. I'm sending you so much